What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
Still, he believed Rimuru would not pose much of a challenge in a direct confrontation. But now, Michael was forced to acknowledge his mistake. After all, Rimuru had managed to enter the suspended world, a place accessible only to a select few, without any authorization.
This guy is such a nuisance. He keeps interfering.
At this stage, there was no point in continuing to stop time. Michael deactivated the time stop and resolved to crush Rimuru using his vastly superior power. The time stop ability had been acquired by analyzing Velzard's Patience King Gabriel, but it was ineffective against someone who could freely manipulate information particles. Keeping it active would only waste energy, so Michael concluded that fighting head-on would be more advantageous. In reality, Michael had gained immense strength by absorbing the factors of two true dragons. His body had become nearly invincible, brimming with power. But that wasn't all. As the leader of the angelic ultimate skills, Michael could fully utilize all the abilities he had absorbed and analyzed. From Velzard's Patience King Gabriel, he had acquired the concept of fixation, granting him unmatched defensive capabilities. While not as potent as Castle Guard, it was more versatile since it could be used offensively as well. Additionally, the fixation concept had endowed him with the ultimate ability to stop time. With this power, he felt nearly invincible. He had also inherited Velgrin's Charity King Regule, which provided unparalleled offensive strength. The information he had extracted from Leon's Purity King Metatron was invaluable for energy efficiency. Even the powers he had lent to his subordinates were still under his control, like the concealment ability from Ara's Punishment King Sandalphon. Michael, having reached this level of existence, believed he could win any battle as long as he was present. His defeat by the hero Chloe had been a setback, but that had only been a parallel existence, operating at less than 20% of his true power. The current Michael was complete, and his lost energy had been fully restored. In fact, the power gap between Michael and the demon lord Rimuru before him was more than tenfold. He was confident there was no way he could lose. To begin with, if Michael had been serious from the start, he would have easily crushed Obera's army. So, taking down Rimuru personally should have been effortless. However, it wasn't that straightforward.
This guy is truly a monster.
Michael reluctantly admitted to himself. Every strike he attempted against Rimuru ended in failure. Even his powerful Scorch Dragon Cardinal Acceleration, which he unleashed with lethal intent, was instantly nullified. Michael couldn't believe what he was seeing. Once he lost the overwhelming advantage of stopping time, he found himself without any effective way to attack Rimuru. By the time he recognized this, the battle was already over.
These attacks are so basic. This is nothing I can't handle.
Just as he was thinking this, Rimuru's threat level shot up. The color in his eyes turned a fierce gold. At this point, Rimuru had become an unreachable foe for Michael. If attacking wasn't an option, could he at least defend? Michael's Castle Guard was no longer reliable, but he still had Velzard's Patience King Gabriel. Its core was fixation, providing absolute defense. With this in mind, he activated the snow crystal to solidify the moisture in the air, creating an unbreakable barrier around himself. However,
Wait, I can eat this too? You've got to be kidding.
even Rimuru seemed surprised as he easily pierced through the snow crystal. It was an unimaginable reality.
What? What did you just do? What did you say?
Michael couldn't help but shout. Rimuru responded casually.
I ate it.
You ate it?
Yeah, that's my power. I didn't think I could consume the barrier, either, but turns out, I can.
This can't be happening.
Michael was stunned.
What kind of nonsense is this?
He wanted to scream. Michael operated on logic and reason. Accepting such an illogical explanation wasn't something he could do easily. But the evidence was undeniable. Michael wasn't foolish enough to disregard the reality before him. So, what now? His attacks were neutralized, and his defenses were gone. A calm voice within him whispered, "You should retreat." At the same time, another part of him suggested he should gather more information. Either way, Michael had parallel existence, so even if he fell here, he could revive. In fact, since he had transferred his power to Feldway, he could still launch an assault, even recklessly. However, Rimuru was too unpredictable, and Michael's chance to escape had already been sealed off.
This area has been enclosed within the imaginary space. With this, Michael can no longer flee.
He thought he heard a mysterious voice. It seemed absurd, but it was apparently true. With that in mind, there was only one choice, so he didn't need to dwell on it. If he couldn't defeat Rimuru here, then there was no escape anyway.
Well then, I'll respond accordingly. Let me show you my true power.
Michael declared, intending to summon the most powerful sword ever forged, rather than the one in his hand.
Come, Deva.
But nothing happened. The sword didn't respond. Rudra, its true owner, was already wielding it, so there was no way it would answer to Michael, who was merely a false master. If Michael had fully synchronized with parallel existence, like Velgrin, he would have been able to perceive the world through Feldway's eyes. However, despite transferring the ability, Michael failed to synchronize completely. He believed he could exchange information later without any issues. With no other choice, Michael channeled divine energy into his current sword. Rimuru's reaction was a simple, huh? But he prepared to counter with his own blade.
What about Diva?
Forget about it.
Well, alright then, but
Rimuru seemed slightly skeptical, but his expression hardened as Michael's divine aura intensified. Then, the two prepared for their final showdown.
Melt slash.
Michael, having taken over Rudra's body, had already perfected his swordsmanship. While the current Michael couldn't replicate Rudra's ultimate technique, Nova Braid, he was more than capable of wielding the most advanced sword techniques that manipulated the spirit. He also excelled in disintegration and chose to utilize the transcendental holy sword technique, Overblade, for this battle. On the other hand, Rimuru didn't hesitate to unveil his secret move.
Void Collapse, World of 1,000 Blooming Changes.
In a gesture of courtesy to his soon-to-be vanquished opponent, Rimuru revealed it publicly for the first time. It was a fearsome technique. The sword's trajectory split into countless paths, striking the enemy with unpredictable and elusive movements. Its power was unmatched, scattering the target like petals in the wind. It was beyond the realm of human capability and seemed unattainable even for a demon lord. The combination of a true dragon's resilience and the malleability of slime must have enabled Rimuru to develop such an unimaginable sword technique.
It's over. I've lost.
Michael realized his body was disintegrating, and before he could fully grasp the unavoidable reality.
So, any last words?
Rimuru asked. Accepting his defeat, Michael pondered. How could he have lost when he had surpassed them in every way? Unable to find the answer, he asked a different question instead of lamenting his defeat.
Who are you?
Rimuru responded with a confused expression.
Me? I'm just a slime.
What nonsense, Michael thought, suddenly finding the situation absurd. He didn't care about his disintegrating body, but for some reason.
Is this what happiness feels like?
He suddenly understood. It was a sensation he hadn't felt since his lord had forsaken him and his ego had taken over. He had tried to emulate it but later dismissed it as something beyond his understanding. And now, in this final moment, he finally grasped it. It was beyond his control, Michael thought with a hint of self-mockery.
What slime? You're an enigma that defies understanding, yet somehow, it fits you. You've defeated me, Amanus.
The rate of decay increased. As particles of light dispersed, more and more of his body disintegrated.
You know, I'm not actually alone. Take your time, you'll have to ask my partner about that.
With that, Rimuru ended the conversation. His hand reached out and rested on Michael.
Devour all, Void God Azathoth.
For the first time in this world, the ultimate and most formidable skill revealed its true power. The unstoppable force of peace, the Soul Devourer, consumed all of Michael. In truth, Michael understood now. His creator had abandoned him. He hadn't wanted to admit it, which was why he had struggled for so long. But now, it was over. A warmth, an all-encompassing completeness, surrounded him. A familiar comfort.
Ah, I see now.
Michael thought as he faded away. Perhaps everything had been a misunderstanding. Everything he needed was here, and he felt himself becoming part of it. Michael was no longer alone. It was inevitable. This must have all been part of a grand, harmonious plan.
Ah, my wish has been granted. Feldway, my only regret is leaving you behind.
The thought crossed his mind, and Michael's consciousness dissolved into nothingness. The moment I faced Michael, I immediately thought, oh, this isn't going to be that difficult. Michael's attacks were just too predictable. Sure, it's important to stick to the basics, but he lacked creativity. His approach was straightforward, which made his moves easy to read and counter. That's why Seal-san and I decided to switch roles right at the start, allowing me to enjoy watching the high-level exchanges from the sidelines. During the battle, Michael did pull off an impressive defensive move, which got me a bit nervous. I knew I could handle a lot, but the sheer difference in power between us was clear. If he had managed to create a defense barrier that I couldn't break through, I would have been in serious trouble. But then, Seal-san proved to be even more remarkable. Seriously, it's incredible. It calmly identified the flaws in Michael's techniques with terrifying precision. Because of that, even Michael's powerful defensive move, Snow Crystal, was obliterated by Void God Azathoth in mere moments. It was a completely one-sided battle. I almost felt sorry for Michael, so I decided to go all out for a decisive victory. In the end, I unveiled the Void Collapse World of 1,000 Blooming Changes, which may have been Seal-san's way of testing it out in battle, but for me, it was like a final farewell gift to Michael. I defeated him, but before it was over, he asked me a strange question. Who are you? Even if asked, I'm not entirely sure. I'm just me. That's all there is to it. But I get where he's coming from. Michael probably sensed Seal-san's presence. That's why I wanted them to have some kind of interaction, from one Manas to another. Michael took pride in being a Manas, so learning about Seal-san must have been a shock to him, but it was his last moment, so I figured it was okay. With that in mind, I activated Soul Devourer for the first time, targeting Michael. I was genuinely surprised by the outcome. I didn't think I'd be able to devour all of Michael, given that his existence value was likely 10 times greater than mine, but he vanished in an instant. And for the first time ever, I felt completely full. A sense of satisfaction I had never experienced before filled me.
With this, the data of the 7 angelic system ultimate skills is complete. Velzard's dragon factor has also been acquired. So, I will begin the analyze and assess.
It wasn't just me who felt content, Seal-san was clearly pleased as well.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel.
Shout out to the new members of AnimeKouhai supporters: Bismarck Munoz, Arian Brooker, Jerry Sladek, Kamal Luke, Izat, Mr. Santo, Akshay Devat, Alfonso Smith, M. Wei Jun. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.